Is everybody in? I asked, is everybody in?
Yeah.
I love to do this. It's from some rock concert, actually. Okay, is everybody in? Yeah. There's still people walking in, you know, and they're silent.
Okay, so if everybody's here, uh, we can probably start because there is quite strong time pressure. So welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your short break, and I think we can start. Sorry, I should introduce you.
I can introduce myself,
confused
you
me
know.
a bit. Sorry, so this is Anita Euschen. Thank you. Nice and enthusiastic activist who's been engaged in animal rights movement since the age 12, if I'm not wrong, which is quite admirable, right? So, yay!
Ella.
And now we can finally start. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, hi, I'm Anita again. So, I will speak about burnout and self-care, which is actually pretty unusual for me because I usually do some campaigning talks or management stuff, event planning and so on. But after one event recently here also in Prague, I was approached like, can you talk about burnout? Hi, sit down. And well, yeah, I prepared a few things for you and we'll walk you through a few details about burnout, about self-care, and hope we can talk about it a little bit and open up a little bit, hear some stories, and learn to take care of ourselves, but also of our people around us. So, because burnout is not about us, it's about everybody, because we are a team, we're a tribe, we are a family, and we really have to take care of each other. Sounds like Berlin, I know. Who was in Berlin 2 weeks ago or 3? Yay! Okay, so self-care, oops, where's my thingy, that thingy. Self-care, or how to live a healthy and long life as an activist. So, the thing is about finding your middle way, finding out what you want, what you can do, and finding out how much you can do. Not overwork, don't kill yourself, and, you know, do what you want to do. Because there's so many subjects we want to do, it's not always easy to do this, right? So who am I? Again, activist since the age of 12, that was 1984. I started at Greenpeace, like Bernard here in the room. Hey, Bernie. I was a Greenpeace activist. I collected signatures for or against the seal hunt. Back then, the moratorium on seal hunt was then established in '85. Jesus, I forget data. I'm old. And well, this somehow, yeah. So this kind of describes what I'm doing, where I'm active. I think everything is in there. Speaking of burnout and overworking, you know, so this is what I'm temporarily working on. I'm also an ambassador of the Parliament of the World's Religions because I'm a pagan, I'm a witch. So this is, I signed up for Croatia, I'm the ambassador for this parliament, and I have been branded the vegan witch. I didn't take the t-shirt actually, I'm not sure. So it's a lot of stuff I'm doing, and I'm functional, I'm doing it, I'm not stopping. I have an amazing team which is here in the room. There's Anita, there's Marin, Ella, Bernard, where's Helena? Oh, come on, so you have to come to our stall to meet everyone. We have a wonderful stall with handcrafted bags, and you need to buy everything because we traveled like, I don't know how many thousand kilometers. Yeah, by the way, I didn't sleep, we were traveling by car, so. Who knows this quote? Yay! Well, this is our quote, Maida. Yeah, so who am I to speak about burnout? Because I was at Prague in Berlin, I don't know, a month or two ago. So Melanie Joy, you know her. She's actually the expert on that, and I also participated in her effective vegan activism workshop, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So when I was approaching like to speak about burnout, I was like, actually, you know, you have the real person over there. And I visited ProVeg and I said, you know, I will be speaking about burnout at the care conference. And we're like, oh, well, there's Melanie, you're right. And no, I'm going to do this, you know, so I'm going to do it. But I've got something from Melanie, which we also used at the workshop. Also, it was in Berlin. It's an inventory, which you will get later after we spoke a bit about everything. It's something Melanie compiled with other colleagues, so to check symptoms you might have experienced in the past month about secondary traumatic stress inventory, burnout or overworking. So, what qualifies me? I've seen a lot of shit in my life. I've been through a lot. I have tried to help people. I always end up helping people because, I don't know, maybe I look like somebody they can approach. I don't know. I've saved lives. I've buried people. I've buried family. Last one was a cousin. He jumped from the 6th floor last year. He was 20 years old. That was psychotic. That was not burnout. But I see a lot. So this is why I'm saying I'm not smarter than anyone. I'm not qualified like Melanie Joy. But I've seen a lot of shit. So I think I can share a few things with you today. Burnout, if you put it down into basic things, it's exhaustion, inefficiency, and detachment. These are the basic symptoms. I see you're taking pictures, but maybe we can also share the presentations later so people don't have to take pictures of the
yeah,
slides.
that's no problem.
So, but you can take pictures, of course. So this is the basic breakdown of burnout symptoms, but we're going further. So why are we prone to burnout? Because we as activists, we live in a high stress lifestyles. We see shocking pictures, we work on videos, we do vigils. Who's in the SAFE movement, by the way? Ah, my girl from the SAFE. This is Siobhan. Anybody who didn't meet Siobhan, this is Siobhan. She's my superstar and I love her. So the SAFE movement people, I think, I don't know why we don't burn out actually, because we love what we do. So we do really see a lot of shit, a lot of clusterfuck, excuse my language, but we do. We work in a movement which talks about torture, which talks about killing, which talks about suffering of sentient beings, and we do our work basically, I think 99.999% of us do this because we feel for them, because we want to change this, because we feel sorry for the animals, we want to change this world. So we are emotionally involved, and this means we are prone to burn out, actually, if we don't look after each other and after ourselves. We live a high-stress lifestyle. We see shocking pictures and scenes most of the time, face brutality on all levels towards animals, but also towards ourselves. Who has been attacked by fur farmers, by truck drivers, by butchers, by the family, by meat eaters in your workplace, by whatever? I mean, have we all more or less been, you know, like, either attacked, intimidated, or whatever, you know, we don't get a lot of respect for what we do, only inside the movement, right? So we receive very little understanding from the people around us, even family abandons us. Who's in good terms with their family? In good terms. It's not a lot of hands, isn't that sad? Or half hands, okay, half hands. I'm, yeah, I don't have a family, so I'm fine.
Like regarding activism.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for many people, activism has screwed up your relations with your family, right? So we don't get a lot of support there, but actually family is the side where is the part of your life where you turn to when you need somebody. And many of us don't have that anymore. We had to give that up in exchange for friends or for our community, which is the activism community. I think Berlin, the SAFE movement community meeting, 2-3 weeks ago, it was amazing. It was like a family dinner, you know, it just lasted 3 days and it was beautiful. Yeah, so much love, just group hugs, meditations, talks. It was beautiful. And I think here we will have the same these 3 days because we're together and we will just empower each other by being together. And we have to continue this and we have to have as many conferences and festivals all over Europe so we can always meet up. Who knows at least 5 people on this conference when you came in? You walk in and you look around, hi. It's a lot of hands, so cool. The others who didn't raise your hand, you have to meet 5 people, you have to make 5 friends, okay? So when you come to the next conference or whatever festival, you will say, okay, I know 5 people. So, family abandons us, support mostly comes from our fellow activists. So far about that. What else do I have? So are you prone to burnout? Are you prone to burnout? Are you? Yes. Oh God, Siobhan is dying there. Okay, oh my baby, come on. So, to prevent burnout, Actually, it sounds simple. It is not simple, I know, because it's about emotions. But it's very simple, because if you can read the signs, you can work on it. If you observe yourself, you can stop yourself. If you're honest to yourself, you know, you go like, oh, wait. I'm doing this again. I'm spiraling. I'm going in a specific direction. Stop now. Breathe and talk to someone. Stop laughing. I know what you're thinking. I know. Like, look, I'm your father. So we are all prone to burnout. STS is secondary traumatic stress. This is what we experience when we watch terrible videos, when we watch Earthlings. This is secondary stress. It's not burnout, it's secondary stress. It's a big difference, and this is what my leaflet from Melanie Joy is about, because we are traumatized by what we are doing. We all are. Nobody can claim, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I've seen these pictures, I'm totally cool. Then you're a sociopath, okay? So never say you're fine, because we are not fine. And we have to be very honest about this. This is what empowers us. And if we feel shitty, we talk about it. We turn to anybody in this room and say, hey, do you have 5 minutes? You know, and just to open up, because this is the only way you can get it out and get feedback and get a hug and, I don't know, get over it or find a way to get over it. Well, we have to get over it somehow. So we must take care of ourselves and of each other. So burnout is chronic stress which leads to physical and emotional exhaustion, cynicism and detachment, feelings of ineffectiveness and lack of accomplishment. Can anybody identify with one of those or more? Hands. Okay, that's honest. That's good. It means we are active. That's fine. So does anybody think they're close to burnout at the moment, or working too much, or like, oh God, I need a break right now? Honesty, yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for your honesty. And now, big question. Has anybody already experienced a burnout? That's my girl. Oh my God, that's a big number. Okay, we have 2 microphones here. I know Maida, she's my first one. I want a few people to, in very few sentences, describe what happened, how did it go down, and how did you get out of it? So Maida is number 1.
Is that muted? Oh, okay.
Well, I could talk long about this. I had burnout, and it led to real breakdown. And Anita helped me to survive, literally. And I'm here to say to everyone, if you feel burnout issues, stop, please stop. Just forget animals, forget anything, otherwise you end up on psychiatric as I did. And it's okay to cry, it's okay to say that it's overwhelming, this moment is really overwhelming. And the most important thing is that you have to forget that you can save animals now. When I had this issue, I had a strong need to get out and liberate all the animals now, and also to kill all the torture people, okay? And it was killing me, and that's what's happening to all of us. I saw you, Siobhan, crying in Berlin, okay? And that was my first symptom. I used to cry all the time. Like, and it wasn't only with animals, it was also with people. You have to all support each other. If you don't support each other, that's what's going to happen. I'm still a little bit crazy person. Yeah. Okay. And sometimes I have nightmares. Like, for example, last year I had nightmare. In my dream, I was a chinchilla and I was in line to be skinned alive. Okay, and it's okay. I woke up. I only said, God, why me? But that's the sign for you that something is wrong with what you're doing. So please support each other and stop believing that you can end this torture now. Okay, and try to put emotion aside. Not those emotions. It's okay to cry, but stop when you work on these issues. Think like you're fighting for a tree, and it's all going to be okay. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry for taking so long, but yeah.
Thank you a lot.
So yeah, burnout. It's not a joke, and it's gonna hit us all, hopefully as well, actually, because we should work hard and we should learn how to deal with it. And I don't think it's possible to do that until you actually have experienced one. But as some of you might know, I've been doing a 6 months tour in a van with my ex-girlfriend. We've been traveling full on, and we visited 18 countries, and we did about 33 workshops, 20 vigils, and 25 Cube of Truth, and some disruptions as well within this month. But something was like, we just need to keep going. We need to go through this. We need to, because who else is going to do it? So we just kept on going. And at one point, we ended the trip. Like now, we are not in a relationship anymore, and it destroyed quite a lot between me and her. I'm still traveling for activism, but I did need to take a month off where I just went to a sanctuary. Sanctuary is the best healing experience you can have. Go to sanctuaries as often as possible. Spend time there, and take time to deal with yourself. Like, just don't be ashamed to not do anything for a little while, because that's what's going to help you keep moving forward. So go to sanctuaries.
Yeah. So does anyone know how depression happens? Does anyone have a definition? So the things occur that lead to depression. Does anyone know what leads to depression? Yeah, so I've came to like one answer. It's when our expectations are higher than what we accomplished. So, for example, I expected, to make a certain amount of money or to be a certain way at this point of time, and it didn't happen. So, and then you just get into depression. So, at these times, I just try to remind myself to, to reevaluate that and set new expectations. That's what is helping me, And that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Anybody else? Something nice to say or some experience to share? I mean, we've heard good stuff, but let me try. Yes, please. Greece.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sofia. I come from Greece. In Greece, we were most involved in rescuing pets, because we have a huge amount of stray animals. We are very few volunteers, and we were all focused on that. So it's only 1.5 years that I realized what is happening in farmed animals. I thought I could deal with it, because you're strong, you think that you can deal with everything. Until this July, 23rd of July, where we had the huge fires in Athens, where 100 people were burned alive. So the first day, because we have a collaboration with the police over there, and we have a car that has a license to enter into areas to help and rescue animals. The first day, while it was still burning, I thought I would be strong and take the car, full equipped, and another volunteer, and go to those areas. And it was the first time in my life that I realized that, except of the animals, I had to rescue people. I saw people burned alive. I saw children. And I thought that, from that day, I stopped. Something blocked my tears. I had all this pain here. I stayed there for 17 days. Today, at the previous presentation, I found myself having tears after all this year, all this time. I had to be strong, always be strong. You are very strong, don't show it. You have to deal with it. You have to be in front, you have to rescue, and then I end up all this time having nightmares, that I'm burning, that I can't save, my house is burning, I can't save my animals, I can't save my family. And I finally went to a psychologist, psychotherapist, whatever, and he told me that I have to deal as the people that go to war. You know, after the Nam War, Vietnam War, people never got over it, so now I'm having my therapy, dealing like I was in a war. Thank you for your presentation, Anita. I know you were inspirational from the last time. And I'm glad to be here. And maybe my tears are free now to come because I feel that I'm among people that can feel what I'm talking about. And when I'm back, I'm the crazy wacko person that, you know, leave us alone now with the animals and everything. Now they give me a little bit more attention because I was out, you know, with the cameras and the news, helping people also. Like when you help animals, you don't help people. It's in their mentality. So that's it. I don't want to say anything else. I'll give it to Anita. Thank you.
So I have to go on with the slides, but I'm really grateful for what you guys have said, and I think it's important for the others, for you, for us, to actually hear this is happening and this is real. And this is what was important to me to hear from a few people which I actually know also pretty good. You're all three really good friends of mine, and I really love you, and I'm grateful you did this. Thank you so much. Oh, group hug. No, not now. No group hug now. We do group hugs, by the way. It's amazing. Yay. I printed this one for you, so you can have a look at it. It will come around later. Maybe Helena, Ella, and Marin, you can hand them around. And, well, this gives you an idea of what is happening with you. And I want you to look through this. Shivon, I love you. And I have a short video which I want to show you. So while the papers go around, it's more an introduction to burnout from YouTube, which gives a really, really nice idea of what's going on, and we're going to watch it now. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're not happy?
Burned out all.
Ah, good. I love this language. It's actually not so difficult to understand them, isn't it? Like from our area, Croatian, Bosnian, and then Czech. Go for it, just let it roll.
People talk about feeling burned out all the time, whether it's related to school or work or overcommitting yourself to things. It's a colorful phrase, but you might not realize where it comes from. In fact, psychologists have been studying and debating about it for more than 40 years. The term burnout goes back to 1974, when psychologist Herbert Freudenberger used it in a paper to describe his colleagues at a free health clinic in New York City. He noticed that over time, many of the doctors, nurses, and social workers tending to patients became less motivated and weren't doing as good of work, even though they cared a lot. After all, they were volunteering their time to help others. They were exhausted, physically and mentally, and sometimes developed headaches, insomnia, and other stress-related symptoms. Freudenberger realized that he had these problems too. Borrowing language from his patients, who were mostly struggling with drug addictions, he called it staff burnout, and the name stuck. Freudenberger ended up writing books about burnout, including his personal experiences, and the concept spread. We're still talking about it, maybe now more than ever. But the thing is, even after lots of investigation, scientists can't totally agree on a definition. Broadly speaking, burnout, or burnout syndrome, is job-related stress. But exactly how it manifests, and why, is less clear. Some experts aren't convinced burnout is really its own thing, since it shares a lot of symptoms with things like depression, anxiety disorder, or chronic fatigue syndrome. But most agree that it has three main parts. The first is exhaustion, being super tired and emotionally drained. Essentially, after giving your all for a while, you don't have much left to give. Second is what psychologists call depersonalization or cynicism. You detach from your work and your coworkers or clients and have a negative attitude. And capping off the trio is a lack of accomplishment or efficacy. Mostly, this means you begin to doubt that you're doing your job well. How these three components come together to create burnout varies a lot, and it's still being studied. But a common scenario starts out with exhaustion, maybe because of a high workload or extra stress from other parts of your life. Then, because you're so tired, you naturally detach from the job. And these things lead to a sense of incompetence, which sucks and could even be real. Burned out people are less productive and are more likely to quit their jobs. In the United States, burnout isn't in the DSM, so it's not something a clinical psychologist or other experts expert can diagnose you with. But a few countries, like Sweden and the Netherlands, do classify it as a medical condition. And there, it's relatively common, like in an estimated 13% of all workers. Much of our understanding of the core parts of burnout come from a social psychologist at UC Berkeley named Christina Maslach. Shortly after Freudenberger started describing burnout, she decided that, to learn more, she needed to be able to measure it. So, with colleagues, she created the Maslach Burnout Inventory, a survey people could answer in about 15 minutes to see whether they might be experiencing burnout. When taking it, people rate how often they feel used up at the end of the workday, for instance, or how often they feel very energetic. And data from this questionnaire have revealed a lot of things. For one, psychologists had assumed that burnout only happened in jobs where you interacted with other people, especially ones that came with a lot of emotional baggage, like what Freudenberger saw at the health clinic. But studies over the last 3 decades using the Maslach Burnout Inventory found that office and factory workers, managers, entrepreneurs, and even soccer players have symptoms of burnout. You don't even need to have a job. Students also get burned out. That doesn't mean the type of work doesn't matter, though. Burnout appears to be more common in high-intensity helping professions like teaching and medicine. In some surveys, as many as half of doctors say they're burned out. But the point is, it's not limited to them. Maslach and other psychologists have found that what seems to be most important is how well matched a person is to their job. There are a lot of different metrics for this, including things like workload, reward, and mission. How important or helpful you think your work is matters. One huge factor is how much control someone feels like they have. Feeling not autonomous can push someone closer to burnout, while a longer leash can protect against it. Another is how much social support they have. People with coworkers they can trust and ask for help do much better with job stress. Now, you might expect burnout to build up over time, so that older people who've been working longer and maybe have a family or other things to worry about would be more prone to it. But usually, it's the exact opposite. Burnout is more common in young people who aren't married and don't have kids. The idea here is that people who don't have partners and children don't have those loved ones to lean on when they have other stresses, which might make things harder. They may be so laser focused on their careers that if something goes south in their job, it can really damage how they think about their self-worth. So burnout sucks, but knowing these patterns gives some hints as to what we can do about it. In the last decade or two, more companies have started to think about how to help by reducing hours, making employees feel more appreciated, and getting them more engaged with their work. There's no cure-all, but spending more time with your family and friends isn't going to hurt either. So maybe start considering your latest movie night or board game marathon with friends as a good thing for your job, too. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow Psych. For more videos about relatable brain things like imposter syndrome or why we talk to ourselves, you can go to youtube.com/SciShowPsych and subscribe.
How do I get to my presentation? Okay, did you find things which we just talked about again in that? The family support, this, some people, you don't have to have a job, and so on. I'm trying to help me with my present. Okay, I'm getting there, but I'm not there. That's not that one. Don't tech me. So what she summarized in 5 minutes is what we have been talking about also now, and you have that paper in your hand. Feel free to have a look and make the crosses. It is for you, it's not for me, I don't want it back, but make a serious self-inventory, and there's more copies if you want some for your friends or somebody, because Anita made a lot of copies. What have you done to my presentation? I need a slide. Now he's under stress. Oh my God, no stress, no stress. Secondary traumatic stress. No. Okay, the next slide will show the symptoms of burnout, which you also have on your paper. I see a few people are already making crosses there. Just do it, go for it. And another question is how to prevent burnout, because we have like 15 minutes left, I think. Yep. Yay, thank you. So we know the warning signs now, more or less. We have been through this. If you're curious about this, please read up, watch more YouTube videos about it. Occupy yourself with this subject, because it's very important for yourself, but also if you see it in others, that you can help right in time and not when it's too late. So mostly if you're close into a burnout, even fellow activists might turn away because you become too much for them and they do not know how to handle you, right? Because you go like loco or loca, right? You go nuts. And if we know what's happening to this person, why he or she is really so crazy, we can step in and say, wait, slow down. Something is going on. You must, take care of this. So we have the major signs of burnout. I'm not going to read them aloud because I think they're on the paper and we've had enough of them for today. Remember them. So we have a responsibility towards our fellow activists. We are a family, a tribe. We must stick together. And how to act when you see someone else spiraling into a burnout. It's very simple. Listen, understand, and act. You don't have to give advice. You just have to listen. These people must open up. They need to talk, or we need to talk. Whoever is burning out, they need to open up and let it out. Let it cry, or go in the forest and scream, or I don't know, chop wood or whatever. You need to do something, or go learn kickbox, whatever. But let it out. Physical activity and talking, and probably also therapy for some people. But most people get up after a couple of days or weeks and will be good again. Our role is listen, understand, act. I'm not giving any advice here what to do if you are in burnout. This is your personal thing and you have to find your way out. I'm not a doctor and I'm not going there, so I'm sorry if I will skip that part of how to get out of a burnout because it's too individual. So whatever help we try to bring someone's recovery can only come from themselves, and if nothing else goes, seek professional help. So, but the part here now is the solutions for a healthy activist life. And wait, let me check the time. Ooh, 10 minutes, let's do this quickly. So, time management. Who has put their head into time management? Who has participated in a course or read up about it or has a leaflet about it and tries to apply this knowledge in their life? That's not enough, people. That's okay, now it's growing, I don't know why. Okay, Ella has flyers, so you will get those again. It's just like some time management tips for you to work on this. I'm not going to talk about time management now, but I advise you learn a few things. There is a small A5 flyer coming around now. It's old. This text is old and there's some funny things in it, but I think you will understand what it is about. Your tribe, your family, your team, your association, your colleagues, whatever you call it, these are the people you need, and your family. Your biological family and your activist family, because we always joke like we are a big family, we are a vegan family here, because we are. So this is the part you need in your life. Headspace. Who knows this app, Headspace? Ah, lots of lovers, I know. Everybody who doesn't know it, install it, try it, it's amazing. It's about meditation, it's the very nice voice guiding you through very short meditation sessions of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. You decide. You can buy the app, I didn't, and I love it anyway, but I would love to buy it because it's so cool, isn't it? Who's happy with Headspace? Of the Headspace users? Of everybody probably. Yeah, we all love it, so. And I think at every conference, at every meeting, we always mention Headspace. I don't know what this guy has done, but he's amazing. Don't autopilot. What does that mean, autopiloting? It's, you know, like, use your brain when you work. You know, when you go into your day without thinking, without planning, without, you know, anything, you just go through it like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Oh my God, the animals are suffering, no God, fuck. And you go through this is autopilot. Stop. I mean, is it there? Yeah, deciding, planning, beginning, turn thought into action. It comes back to time management, but it also goes back to your personal management. Really turn thought into action, make a decision, make the planning, and then begin. Don't just jump into things and don't autopilot. Respond, don't react to life. What's the difference between responding and reacting? You know, somebody hits you and you hit back, that's a response, it's a reaction. But if you respond, you will first consider, okay, why did he hit me? And then you will react like, okay. No? So take it easy, take life easier. I am the only problem I will ever have, and I'm the solution. Is it true? Okay. And sleep. Get enough of sleep, people. Sleep is so important. So your team, your family. Yeah, okay. What? Oh yeah, do you know when we arrived, our Croatian car at 7 in the morning, we had a night ride. I didn't sleep last night. That's why I'm so hyped probably. I need coffee, and who buys me a coffee? We're crazy, we keep doing this. That's how we came to Berlin too, you know, like night rides, come on. Who needs sleep? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm like, you know, I'm teaching here, right? Learning by examples. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not sleep. This is what you look like when you don't sleep. So, it's absolutely amazing. Your team, your family, your tribe is everything. It's everything. I don't know, but it is. If you have a good family, biological, of course, they're also your everything. But stick to those people who do the same stuff that you do because they understand you. You can cry to your mom about the cows or the pigs dying. They will never understand it, except a few moms who are also vegan or vegetarian or in the movement. But, you know, the vegans understand what we do simply. So let us learn to look after each other so we will be able to become really old in this amazing animal rights movement, which is going to change the world. Are you in? Yes. What? Yes. Okay. And that's so far everything from me. I hope I could help you a little bit. I hope you get some ideas from the sheets I gave you. I don't know if there's time for questions. Yeah, we got like 7 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes. I'm quickly announcing our Animal Rights March in December in Croatia and Zagreb. I don't know if the flyer is going around, a small, stupid flyer. You find it on our stall, and I hope you will buy all our bags, which Ella draw and so on.
Can we just switch the mics?
Yes, let's switch mics.
Yeah. Okay, so we are under, there is quite strong time pressure, as I said before, so we have time for about one question, okay?
Yeah, mine. I could ask you after, but yeah. My question is about the burnout. It's not very clear to me. Is it kind of short-term or long-term thing? Is the burnout stressing and everything, or it has like a peak and then you cry or something like that? So the process of burning out is not clear to me. I guess it's kind of long-term because all the stress and everything, but just the process, it's not clear to me.
Because it's individual. Some people have it a week. I mean, I have a friend, I've guided him, I think, through 2 or 3 burnouts, and he was lying down for 3-4 days, and we talked, and I fed him, and so on, and then it was over because he used his head, and he worked himself out of it, which brings us to the slide. Wait, where was it? Can only come from themselves. So it depends on you, because if the depression starts, if you have a potential like bipolar disorder or something, you can really spiral into huge problems, which even lead to suicide or simply becoming totally antisocial and pulling out of everything, family, friends, work, etc. So it really depends on the person where you go with your burnout. So this is what I say, stick to your people, because you can burn out and you can get out of it quickly. I don't know, Maida, how long did it take in your case?
I was in a second.
For my microphone, yeah.
Okay.
Quickly, because we have like 1 minute
Yeah,
left.
I think I had 2 months before I realized that I'm really crazy. And then I was suicidal. I almost had a suicide attempt, and Anita helped me not to do it. Well. And I was sedated for a month, like really full sedated for a month. And then next 6 months, again, Anita helped me with her ideas. And it took, maybe 6 more months. But I'm still crazy, so...
Yeah, I am crazy too.
Yeah.
I mean,
and my symptoms were constant crying on anything. I used to be really tired and exhausted, but I used to also tell myself that I mustn't be tired because animals are dying. That's stupid, really stupid. Don't do it to yourself. And yeah, so constant crying was my first,
Give the mic to Siobhan, because just a time lapse, you know.
Yeah, I just want to really add something short, like we are in a moment where the only thing we have to feed is kind of our ego. We don't get money for what we're doing. Like, okay, we can do a rescue and we can liberate an animal and see the positive outcome of that. That's why it's so important to connect with each other and keep the ego in check as well and prevent burnout while doing that. And while we're at it, next weekend we are organizing a workshop for which is about community building, healing, and activism. I'm going to do that at Farma Nadere in Czech Republic. So if you are free next Saturday, let me know and I'll give you a flyer so we can heal together at the sanctuary with animals.
Yeah, we have a safe movement stall downstairs.
Yes, and there's going to be some vigils also the next few weeks, so yes.
Hey. Maybe just for you quickly, how long did it take you to recover also, and how deep were you in your bad phase, the burnout phase?
You think I'm recovered?
Yeah, you look good. You look pretty good. You're working, you're functional, so you recovered. See, Tamara, that's the point, you know. Does she recover? That's the thing. You got like 30
I
seconds.
just think that I'm
Sorry.
in the right path right now, and I use very much my way of thinking in a more positive way. And as about sanctuary, I visit a horse sanctuary that they do therapy with the horses. You just go along with them and do some things for them. Don't ride the horses, they are horse therapists. So I've been there 3 times, and it makes me, I'm very much close to nature and with the horses and everything, so that's what, and I told you, I just had tears today after almost 3 months.
Does it answer your question a little bit? Yeah. It's very individual. You see, there's no fixed rule and there's no definition by medicine, actually. Do we have time for another question, or do we close here?
We have probably time for the last one.
Okay, one more question, or do you want to get out of here?
We have about 2 minutes. Okay. Oh.
I just want to quickly ask if there is actually any organized help for activists. Is there any organization that helps activists going through the stress of doing activism?
Well, I would say, I mean, it's not Melanie Joy is not doing this. Yeah, whoa, you're good. Come on, flip over. But my colleague from, I think, the Humane League, Ellie, I think, she put up a drive with a lot of good information in there. And an organization, I wouldn't know, but...
The same moment is working on something like this, and I do think more organizations are working on getting more of this.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah,
it's becoming more and more a subject now, actually. So I think it will be coming now in the next month or year. One more, sorry.
I work for Peter Germany, and we're actually, Maida and I are working on a webinar. So there might be something in about 6 months where we invite people to come together and talk. But obviously it's not going to be able to replace professional help. I mean, that's something we all should keep in mind, that we need professional help as well, but there's like a possibility to at least create a platform where we can talk about things.
Yeah, community is always the first thing, actually. Okay.
Okay, so thank you, not only you, Anita, but also all the people who volunteered from the public and shared their personal experiences. And that's probably it. So thank you once again.
Thank you. And thanks everybody for your honesty and for sharing. I love you.